Have you ever started something and quickly realized that this isn't what you want to be doing at all? Well, that's where I am with making these videos, and I'm going to tell you why. Hey, I'm Jesse Tanaki, also known as JT the Human, and in this video, I want to share a little update of where I'm currently at, and as always, share some value along the way. I'm very grateful that I can say I've had a pretty interesting life to date.
Sounds good.
I've lived in multiple states across Australia. I've met so many different types of people and groups. I've been a part of so many different cultures and communities and experienced so many different things along the way. Me, myself, I don't belong to just one world.
What?
I'm a music artist. I love music. I've played all around Australia, as well as international shows and events. I've toured Australia's biggest arenas, placed in the top 8 of The Voice Australia. I produce music, I songwrite, the list goes on with music for me. But I'm also a qualified electrician. I ran an electrical company in Sydney for years, building a workflow and productivity platform for myself and the 12 plus employees that we had. I've got my NLP qualification, NLP standing for Neuro-Linguistic Programming, which I like to describe it backwards by saying it's the reprogramming of the language of our mind. I'm also a youth mentor here in Melbourne, but more importantly, I've just experienced general life, which I think is our greatest teacher.
Help?
Moved out of home early, lived in multiple cities. I've also been through my fair share of hardships, like battling severe anxiety, crippling depression, and other mental obstacles. Look, I could go on forever about being grateful for the things that I've done and been a part of, but I'd probably bore not only you but myself if I went on any further with it. To be honest, it's hard for me to limit the reasons of why I've wanted to get into content creation, making YouTube videos and the like, down to only a few. But one, as I talked about in my first video, I'm wanting to get into podcasting and interviewing, so I'm using this as practice. And as I said in my last video, consistency is the key for greater success. So I'm consistently talking to the camera, consistently sharing value, but more importantly, I'm consistently showing up for myself, for what I believe in, and showing up for my future. Following on from that, if you're watching this video, I would love if you could please like this video, subscribe to my channel. I heard it helps. I honestly don't expect to get too much engagement at the start, but I appreciate the support nonetheless. So thank you for being here. I just want to quickly point out that I just listened to my previous video and was not happy with the audio quality at all. So I went ahead and bought myself a new camera microphone, which I'm using right now for this video. It's a Sennheiser MKE600. It cost me about $350, and so far it's already worth it. This isn't a sponsored ad or anything like that. I just like being transparent and sharing what I'm up to. I'll have a link below if anyone is looking to upgrade their audio game. Now, back to the video. Another reason I'm making content is the value. My favorite part about learning is compiling all the knowledge and experience, compressing it into something more simplified that I think will be more digestible for others. I heard something a little while ago, I forget by who, but they furthered the classic saying of kids have it easy these days by saying, yes, they do, but that's the whole point. I thought this was an incredible perspective. It's so true, right? All we should be doing is trying to make this world and this life we have easier for ourselves and others by learning and teaching, experiencing, and providing value. We learn to make our lives better by being more equipped with knowledge and an understanding of how to navigate our world better. We then teach it to help those around us in our world to make their life better. Sharing value is constantly around us. We just have to recognize it. Those with kids want them to have the same or a better life than they did, so they share their knowledge with them. The boss or a business owner will pass on their knowledge so that their employees will be more efficient for greater success. The list goes on.
It goes on and on and
I'm not a big fan of the keep it to yourself concept. If I have something of value that can help other people, I want to share it. Be it knowledge, be it a quote, be it a song, be it an amazing food spot. This also applies to everyone watching this who has a talent or a passion in something. You'll truly find the value in your talent or passion when you start sharing it with other people. Now, this isn't just beneficial for you, the world actually needs it.
yeah.
Previously, I said I would try to make 50 videos, one video a day for the next 50 days. But in doing that, I've realized very quickly that this isn't what I thought it would be at all. After making the first video, I thought, hey, this is easy enough. All I have to do is hit record, talk for 5 to 10 minutes, and then chop it up and we're done. Great. But there was a few things that I didn't take into account. One being my incessant need to level up and my addiction to knowledge and value intake. With the first video, I filmed it, chopped it up, and uploaded it without much thought. but every video since I've been diving deeper into editing. Trying this technique, trying that technique, looking at different platforms, researching what other people do. And then all of a sudden I realized that it had been a couple of days since I'd done any work on my videos because I got too lost in the source of value intake. It was at that moment with this that I realized I needed to work on my focus and my time delegation. Another thing I didn't take into account with this was life. Me letting life get in the way, letting life happen to me rather than me taking control of it and creating my own path. The best way to navigate this for me was to build myself a weekly schedule, to assess my time availability and assign it better for better productivity and efficiency. I found that doing this has been one of the best things that I could have done for me and my time. And although every day isn't perfect when it comes to sticking to the schedule, in a general sense, I keep on track. My productivity has gone up massively. I'm not sharing this because I think we need to become robotic with it, sticking to a constant schedule all the time, but I do know how fast time goes in this life and how much time we actually waste doing pointless things that probably cause us harm in the long run. Have you heard me talk about the toothpaste theory before? If not, you're about to. I can't remember where I heard it, but I apply my version of the concept to so many things in life and it really helps with perspective. Usually when you get a new tube of toothpaste, for the first 80% of the tube, you squeeze it everywhere, you don't worry about the portion, and you don't worry about how much is being used. Now, the remaining 20% of the tube usually lasts around the same amount of time as the first 80%. That's because we see it getting near the end and we want to make it last. Now, if we understand this and then take the same mentality we have for the last 20% and apply it to the whole tube, the same tube could last us 2.5 times longer. The amount of tubes you go through in 1 year would last you 2.5 years. That's a huge difference. If we apply this concept to our life, we can make such a positive change. Apply it to money, you'll probably save more, you'll be more conservative, you're more likely to track where your money's going. You'll probably still be able to do the same things, you'll just have more money. Same principle applies when we apply this to time. We only have a certain amount of time until the end of our life, which we have no control over. But what we do have control over is the day-to-day. Everyone has 24 hours. What you do in that time is up to you. As I said, I'm a big fan of building a schedule for my time. I don't have to stick to it strictly, but it gives me an understanding of where I'm at, what I have to do, and what I'm capable of. Feel free to reach out or DM me if you'd like some suggestions on getting started on your own. I also didn't take into account other stuff popping up. There's been a few additions to my schedule recently. I've got a music release strategy now in place. I've written and developed a new business plan template for a few friends and I'm helping them work through that. I'm also in the process of building personal systems for others to use as tools to grow with, to progress into, and to navigate through whatever they need in life. Much like the previously mentioned weekly schedule. With all this in mind, I've now changed my goals and plans around content creation to suit the new pathways. I'm definitely passionate about this though, sharing value and hosting content. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I absolutely love this. It's one thing to do something because you feel like you need to for success, and it's a whole other thing to do something because it ignites your being. Remember, you have value, you hold value, you can share value, you'll always gain value. That in itself is beautiful. That's all for me today. I'll see you on the next one.